The breaking news overnight, there are new fires now threatening Los Angeles, California, one right off LA's 405 freeway. Drivers could see the flames from the Sepulveda fire as they drove by. There you see it. It's burned roughly 40,000 acres right across. Sorry, it's burned just about 40 acres right across from the Getty Museum. At one point, that fire led to an evacuation order for the community of Bel Air. That was just a few hours after another fire near Castaic exploded in size. That one's called the Hughes Fire, and it's burned more than 10,000 acres. It's just 14% contained this morning. These new fires are now just adding to the historic disaster that has been unfolding for more than 2 weeks now, stretching fire crews to their limits. They're still working to contain the Palisades and Eaton fires. President Trump, in a new interview, he went after California's Democratic governor for his handling of it all. Trump is planning to visit the state tomorrow. CNN's Josh Campbell, he's in L.A. following all this for us. Josh, what can you tell us about the situation this morning?
Yeah, Kate, I mean, our community here across Los Angeles is on edge because of those red flag wind conditions that continue here. And just as you mentioned, overnight, yet another fire popping up. I'm now in the Sepulveda Pass, for those who are familiar with Los Angeles, between L.A. And the Valley area. This fire breaking out, as you mentioned, up to 40 acres, but it's near the Bel Air neighborhood, so near a populated area. Authorities were able to halt forward containment on this to 40 acres. I want to get straight to David Ortiz with the Los Angeles Fire Department. Sir, can you tell us, we've got crews all around us here. What are they doing right now?
Well, right now is what we call the mop-up operation. We want to make sure that we don't leave anything hot that can later be carried by wind. So our firefighters were very effective in keeping the fire from spreading into the Moraga community, which is behind this hill. This fire was topography driven, meaning the fuels and the angle of the hillside. The Santa Ana winds are blowing against this fire, so we had that in our favor, and we also had available aircraft that were able to fly this. We had 5 medium helicopters and 2 heavies that engaged this fire right away. 250 firefighters from LA City Fire jumped on this very quickly, and we were able to keep it to only 40 acres.
And then finally, the winds are relatively calm right now, but what's your concern over the next few hours?
So we're still expecting some dry humidity and then gusts of winds possible up to 60 miles an hour before we are expecting rain starting on Saturday and Sunday. But once that rain passes, it's going to dry up again. So we need sustained rain. A lot of the vegetation looks like this. It's super dry. Any one spark will have a new start of a fire that establishes and races quickly like we had yesterday in Hughes Fire.
Well, thanks for the update, sir. Thanks for what your team is doing here. Kate, you know, this is one fire that authorities here are dealing with. As you mentioned, just north of us yesterday, this fire exploding, the so-called Hughes Fire up near the Castaic area. We saw tons of resources being thrown at that fire as well. Thousands and thousands of people are facing evacuation orders at this hour. The good news is that although that ballooned over to 10,000 acres, authorities continue to work towards containment. Currently, about 14%. One final good thing I'll tell you is that if there's any good news in all of this, terrible activity here, is that because of those 2 recent deadly fires in Palisades as well as Eaton, this whole area has been flooded with fire resources, not only from California, neighboring states, as well as Canada and Mexico, having resources here that were on standby. We saw that heavy attack overnight. Helicopters, the Chinooks, the Blackhawks, just attacking that fire with water, trying to get that down, trying to stop the spread, Kate.
Absolutely. And they stay at it this morning. Josh, thank you so much. Sarah?